Hey guys, thank you for tuning in. So, this is a story time about my dad. He got his jaw broken because of a undercover officer. So, over the years, I came to find out that my dad had a drug problem. I don't know if to say was or is. I would say is addicted to drugs because as of 2024, my last interactions with him, he seemed to still be struggling with his addiction. So about 8 to 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago, he used to live with my grandmother, which is his mom. She has passed away. Rest in peace to her. And he was living with her for some time, and he was on his way. He left the house and he was on his way to the train station. So this took place in New York City. The train station is maybe a 5 minute walk from where my grandmother lives. And he took a walk to the train station, and before he could get on the train, a undercover officer approached him. He did not know it was an undercover officer, but the lady approached him and basically struck up a conversation with him and asked him if he knew where she could get some drugs. He in turn took this lady back to my grandmother's house where he lived at the time. I don't know if he did not have a phone on him, or why he took the lady back to the house, but maybe he thought he was going to get lucky. I don't know. He then used the house phone to call his dealer, who showed up to my grandmother's house to provide whatever was requested. I don't know what his choice of drug was, but the drug dealer showed up, and he was then arrested. He was ambushed and arrested. So I don't know, any other normal person or any of us, sound off in the comments, would think that this was a setup. So this is what the drug dealer thought, that this was a setup. So over the next following weeks, everything seemed to be fine. Now at that moment, I think my dad was also arrested at the same time. However, the drug dealer is the one who was facing the more serious charges, because my dad was basically used as like a bait, right? So once this occurred, sorry, I'm losing my track of thought. Oh, so once this occurred, everything seemed to be okay up until one night. My dad was coming back into the building and he was ambushed by a group of men. He would sometimes carry around his guitar with him. He loves to play music. So a lot of time he records music and things like that sometimes. So he was carrying his guitar with him, and they even they beat him. They beat him, and they also beat him with the guitar. The guitar broke in half, and his jaw was broken. He had to be rushed to the hospital. He was in very bad condition. He was in the hospital for weeks. I want to say even over a month, and he had to do surgery in order to get his face and everything back into a good condition. So he was ordered to not come back to where my grandmother resided, and he was put into a program. I believe the program was mandated because if he did not do the program, he would have had to spend time in jail. One thing that myself and my other sisters had to kind of help with is his attorney, and also the district attorneys were trying to force him to testify. And I felt like he was already utilized as bait enough, but they were also forcing him to testify. And not one of any angle of this situation were they considering him, or his safety? He had already gotten beaten up. So who knows what could have happened any further than that if he would have testified against this person. But what do you guys think? Sound off in the comments. Do you have any crazy family stories? That is just one of the many that I have here. And do you have anybody in your family who struggle with substance abuse? Sound off in the comments. Thank you for tuning in.